You can follow along with me on page 102. This is letter A. We need to turn 75% into a fraction in simplest form. So, whenever I see 75%, I know I automatically have 75 out of 100. If I were to have 65%, I would have 65 out of 100. If I were to have 10%, I would have 10 out of 100. Whenever you have percentage, it's always out that number out of 100. So now, 75 over 100, my last step is to simply simplify it. So to do this, I need to find a number that goes both into 75 and 100. I know 25 can go into both 75 and 100. So when I do this, I divide both the top by 25 and the bottom by 25. 75 divided by 25 is 3, and 100 divided by 25 is 4. So my answer is 3/4 in simplest form. 75% equals 3/4. This is problem B on page 102. Once again, I have 90%, so I do 90 out of 100. Remember, percents always go out of 100. My last step is to simplify it. What goes both into 90 and 100? When I look at it, I know I can divide both the top and bottom by 10. 90 divided by 10 gives me 9. 100 divided by 10 gives me 10. So my answer in simplest forms is 9/10. So 90% is 9/10 in a fraction. Your transportation code for today is BOAT. I'm going to talk about how I can turn these three decimals into percents. To turn 0.56 or 56/100 into a percent, I simply move the decimal to the right twice. So this in percent would be 56%. 31, I would again move the decimal to the right twice. I always move it twice. So my answer would be 31%. If I have 6/100 or 0.06, to turn this into a percent, I once again move the decimal to the right 2 times. My answer would be 6%. Whenever you turn decimals into percents, you always move the decimal to the right twice. To solve 3/10 into a percent, my first step is to divide. Once again, the 3, or the numerator, goes in the inside. Since 10 is on the bottom, it goes on the outside. 10 can't go into 3, so I have to add a 0. I have to move my decimal point straight up, and then I can solve. 10 can go into 30 3 times. So 3 times 10 is 30, and I'm left with 0, so I have no remainder, so I can be done. Now, my answer is 0.3. I need to turn this into a percent. So if I have 0.3, to turn it into a percent, I move the decimal point over twice. Since I don't have a number here, I have to put a 0 in. So my answer would be 30%. I have to turn 2/5 into a percent. So, like always, my numerator of 2 goes on the inside, and my denominator of 5 goes on the outside. 5 can't go into 2, so I have to add a 0 along with the decimal point. Since I have a decimal point in my divisional problem, I need to move my decimal point straight up. 5 can go into 20 4 times. 4 times 5 is 20, and when I subtract, I get 0. So I have no remainder, so my answer is 0.4, or 4/10. Now remember, to turn 0.4 into a decimal or into a percent, I need to move the decimal point to the right twice. Once again, I will have to fill in a 0, so my answer would be 40%.